you scared about having another miscarriage? Did you do anything different? That is what makes me a little nervous. You have a birth plan, hospital, home, water. If you are gonna watch the baby coming out of my vagina. Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. If you haven't been here before, my name is Kian, and today we are talking all things pregnancy. Do a little pregnancy Q&A. I feel like I was worried when I got pregnant that like all my content would be pregnancy related, and then I just like have not shared like hardly anything about pregnancy outside of like, well, actually no, I have a whole pregnancy series on our conception journey, so maybe my whole channel is pregnancy stuff. But I feel like I shared a lot of our conception journey, but now that I am pregnant, I haven't shared much at all. Like I feel like I shared a lot more before I got pregnant. Does that make sense? Whatever, you guys probably don't even care. Let's just go into the questions, shall we? Okay, first question is, are you nervous for labor? I feel like this one was asked quite a bit. Honestly, no. I feel like I don't have any like nerves or fear around labor. I don't know if that's just because I have watched like a lot of birth videos and heard a lot of birth stories that were really positive and have just filled my mind with amazing things about birth. But I'm also not really somebody who gets a lot of anxiety or fear, so I think my personality also just leans more to being kind of chill about things. So yeah, I am not nervous for labor. I would say like the only fear I have more so is the commitment, which you obviously have to think about this before having a child, but like the knowing that after we have this baby, like our lives will forever be changed. Like the commitment, like this will be our child for the rest of our lives. Like if anything, that is what makes me a little nervous, but I'm sure I will love it. And I'm sure there's just that switch that happens inside of you and you like couldn't imagine your life any other way. But yeah, that's like the only thing I'm nervous about. Does Kyle have a hard time empathizing with you during pregnancy? I know he did at first, and he would like judge me and think I was lying about stuff. He would never ever say this to me. Like in real life, he would just be thinking it, which he has mentioned in other videos, but God humbled him really quickly and told him to stop judging me, but he never showed any like struggle empathizing with me. And now he's really good. Like literally anytime I say like, oh, this hurts or I'm tired, all he does is like, oh, I'm so sorry, which is great. That's all I need to hear, is for him to feel sorry for me, really. So I think he's been amazing. And then somebody else, or no, the same person asked, how do you think Kyle will be as a father? I think he is going to be the most amazing dad ever. Like from what I've seen of him being a dad to our dog, if that shows anything, like he is like the ultimate dad dog. And he's just so sweet and kind and thoughtful and so selfless already. Like even before I got pregnant, but especially during pregnancy, he's been so selfish. He's been so selfless. He's been so, the camera died, but I was trying to say selfless. He is so selfless, so sweet, so thoughtful, so considerate. I feel like he'll be an amazing dad. He also functions really well on minimal sleep, which I feel like is a trait that I will appreciate greatly because I do not function well on no sleep. And I've actually been watching a lot of, like I've seen a few videos of doctors talking about how women actually need more sleep than men, and it like is actually detrimental for us to not have a lot of sleep, but men it's not as detrimental and they can function better without it. And he is very great at that. So I know I'm gonna appreciate that a lot. Somebody asked, will you be using an OB/GYN or a midwife? I am using a midwife. She actually also happens to have her doctorate, so she's a doctor and midwife, which I feel like is amazing. So she's been able to prescribe me like medication, and she just has access to a lot more things that I think a traditional midwife might not. So I feel like that's just like such a huge benefit. People are asking about baby boy names. Kyle and I actually have a whole video sharing video. What am I talking about? We have a whole video of us sharing baby names we like on the Kian and Kyle channel, and I feel like that has tons of good baby boy names, so I will have that linked if it is up already. Definitely go watch that one. Somebody asked, how did I handle nausea? That's a great question. So as far as symptoms go, most of my symptoms were in the first trimester, and it was a lot of nausea. However, it was a very unique nausea than what I thought it was going to be. When people said they got morning sickness, I just always assumed it just felt like you had to throw up all the time, which wasn't the case for me, at least. I felt nauseous in my stomach, so it just felt like I had like this nauseous like stomach ache like all the time. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, honestly, because I remember one time I thought I was pregnant. It was actually food poisoning, and I felt so nauseous, like literally felt like I was just going to puke all day long, and I was like, is this what pregnancy is going to be like? But for me, that was not my experience. The nausea was actually in my stomach, so it kind of just felt like I was like, ugh, kind of just felt kind of gross and just had a stomach ache non-stop. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but I was glad that it didn't feel like I actually had to throw up all the time. And how did I handle it? So I use the motion sick acupuncture bands. I also used peppermint oil. I would like put some on my temples. I would just put a couple drops in my hand and like just inhale it. I had ginger candies in the car, and I also bought those like pregnancy sour candies, and I would have those in the car, and I feel like those did help. And then I ate like crackers. I think one of the biggest things was just like making sure I ate as soon as I woke up and like had small meals throughout the day. But yeah, I would like immediately wake up and have like a little yogurt, one of those like little yogurt drinks. Now the thought of that like kind of repulses me, like having a yogurt drink. But I feel like just having something to eat in the morning. Like my midwife suggested having something high in protein when you wake up. So like if you can like eat eggs first thing, like before, like have your husband bring you eggs in bed, like that would be ideal. So that's kind of my methods for handling it. Thankfully, shortly into the second trimester, all my nausea went away. I mean, I still get a little bit car sick, but I've always gotten car sick. So somebody asked, do you have a birth plan? Hospital, home, water, praying for a healthy pregnancy. Thank you for your prayers. My birth plan is I plan to have a home birth. My midwife will bring the birthing tub, so that would be great to give birth in the birthing tub. Who knows where I'll give birth. I'm also like really just trying to be open-handed and just be okay. Like if I have to get transferred to the hospital, that's okay. If I have to get a C-section, that's okay too. Like I just don't want to face any disappointment, so I'm just not holding too tightly to anything, but ideally at home in the tub with my hubby. Is Kyle going to be by your head or by your feet, if you know what I mean? LOL. Oh my gosh, I need to ask him that when he gets home, because I don't know. We've never talked about this. I don't care where he is. Like he could be in the birthing tub catching the baby if he wants to. Like I don't like, that doesn't gross me out, him seeing that. So I think it's so cool, and he can go wherever he wants. So I'll ask him his preference if he has thought about that at all. He probably hasn't, but he should be home soon. Oh, Hans, is your daddy home? Go get dad, don't get me. Yeah.
Sweet boy. Oh, are we filming?
Yeah. Do you want to answer a question?
Right now?
Yeah.
Sure.
Put you on the spot.
Nancy, do you want to... Are you actually live right now?
Yeah, I'm recording. I'm live.
We're live. Okay.
Somebody wants to know if you are gonna look at the baby coming out of my vagina or not. That's something I see.
Mm-hmm. The bottom.
Out everything bagel.
Oh yeah, it's in there. Oh, still there.
Here?
Yep, right. Nope, the other. To you, right.
Here?
Yeah. Not that far. Back. Yep, right there. Yep. Did you get it?
Oh.
You push it in.
Oh,
There you go. You got it. Nice.
Oh yeah, I could taste that.
So what's up?
So somebody wants to know if you are gonna watch the baby come out of my vagina.
Probably.
Are you into that?
I don't know if I'm into it, but like it's kind of
like you're open to it? Well, because some dads like want to be by the woman's head so they don't see it coming out. Like if they're a little bit more squeamish. But like, would you be interested to see him come out?
I mean, it's not something you see every day, so.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be cool.
Yeah, I probably would want to see it.
It'd
Probably
insane.
freak me out and blow my mind and maybe make me faint. But
You think you would faint?
no, I don't faint.
My dad almost fainted when
Really?
I was born.
Oh, jeez, no, I wouldn't faint, but I'd probably just be like, ah!
Well, yeah, let's not.
Ah!
Maybe let's
Oh
not.
my god!
Let's not
Oh
do
my god, Angie! Oh my gosh!
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, I'll probably watch.
Okay.
Is that the question?
Yeah, someone was.
Is that it?
Yep, someone wanted to know.
Alright. Glad to be here, y'all. Kyle, signing out.
Oh, somebody asked how to prepare your body for pregnancy. Honestly, I would just recommend try to be in best shape as you can. That's probably something I wish I did more, was like work out and go on walks and like all those things before getting pregnant, just so my body was in pretty good shape beforehand. But that's something I'm like also going to do during pregnancy, is try to stay in shape, try to work out. My one friend, she was like doing Pilates and bar throughout my pregnancy, was a game changer. For her first pregnancy, she didn't do any exercise. And her second pregnancy, she said she was doing like bar and Pilates like 3 to 5 times a week, especially in her last trimester. And she said it made a huge difference with her endurance when it came to giving birth. And she did 2 unmedicated hospital births. So definitely taking her advice, I'm gonna try to get as conditioned as possible to prepare me for the labor process. Another thing outside of like exercising that I'm doing to prepare for labor is I bought a birthing ball, and I try to sit on it as much as possible and like do like hip circles. There is a video on YouTube where she gives you like 10 different movements to do on the birthing ball to help open up your pelvic floor. I'm also going to see a chiropractor 1 to 2 times a month, which has been amazing. I started getting sciatica pain, which is like this really sharp shooting pain in like your butt cheek. So I started getting that. I went to the chiropractor a few days later and I haven't gotten it back since. So that is amazing. Also been going to some prenatal classes. I'm gonna do a prenatal breastfeeding class that it's like a 2-hour intensive. Kyle gets to come, which is amazing, and they teach you all about breastfeeding and tips and things. So that's exciting. And then there's like a lot of free events. Like tonight we're going to a class it's like a partner support class. So they're gonna teach Kyle different massage techniques to help me through labor. So yeah, I think that's so awesome that there are just like these events in the area, that a lot of them are free, that just offer so much support for women who are pregnant. So I'm going to as many of those as I can. I'm also doing a birth course I decided to do which one did I do? Oh, I'm doing the Built to Birth online course. So that is the one I'm doing. Yeah. Somebody asked, were you scared about having another miscarriage? Did you do anything different? I would say I was a little bit anxious maybe the first week after I found out I was pregnant, but after that I wasn't. Something I did do differently to help prevent a miscarriage was my midwife prescribed me progesterone, a natural form of progesterone that's derived from sweet potatoes, I believe. And I started taking those as soon as I found out I was pregnant, because progesterone is what helps keep baby alive. And I did not know this, but a lot of miscarriages are because there is a significant drop in your progesterone, and you produce progesterone while you're sleeping. So sleep is extremely important while you're pregnant, because that is the only time, I believe, that your body is producing the progesterone it needs to keep baby alive. So the fact that was able to like supplement the progesterone with the prescribed one was really awesome. So that is something I did differently with each pregnancy. Cravings or aversions. I feel like I really haven't had any super strong cravings, which really shocked me because usually when I get my period, I have very strong cravings and like just, yeah, I was like scared to get pregnant in that sense, because I was like, if my cravings are this strong when I have my period, like what am I gonna do when I'm pregnant? But I actually did not have super strong cravings. I did crave like more like spicy foods. But I've always loved spicy foods. So aversions, yes, like I had aversions to steak for some reason. I'm trying to think if there's any other foods that I was just like, ugh. Probably, but I can't really remember. More so, I had a really strong gag reflex to things that I normally didn't mind. I don't know. That didn't usually bother me. Like the smell of our dog food made me gag. The smell of our microwave. The smell of gas, like there was like this gasoline, and I'm not talking just like a little bit. Like I was full on gagging, and Kyle just laughs when I gag, which is not funny. He thinks it's hilarious.
It's kind of funny.
He thinks it's hilarious when I'm like gagging so much. And I'm like, why are you laughing? But I can't get mad at him. Okay, last question I'm going to be answering is one thing you were completely surprised about pregnancy. So one symptom that I feel like nobody told me about was your ribs. My rib pain is so crazy. And this could just be situational because I am only 5'3", and I also have quite a short torso, which my midwife said that she also is short with a short torso, and she said that it's more common for us to experience. But basically, as your baby's growing, your hips are expanding, but also your rib cage is expanding. My midwife said her rib cage expanded by 4 inches or 8 inches? It was like somewhere between 4 and 6 inches, I think. Her rib cage grew during her pregnancy. Mine has grown 2 inches already. So your bones are literally spreading apart. And I didn't realize this, but like right now my ribs are super sore and tender, and I can literally feel them pushing outwards. I wouldn't say it's like unbearable by any means. It's just quite uncomfortable, and there's just like a lot of pressure all in this like top area here, and like in the back of my ribs, it just feels like they're just tender and like just being pushed open. So that is the most surprising thing that I have experienced. I also had some tenderness like right here in the middle of my chest, which she said is also common if you have a short torso, because there's a lot of pressure there. It literally just felt like, not like heartburn, but it felt like this was like bruised, like something was piercing my chest, but that has gone away. So mostly just this crazy rib pain and just like sitting down for a long time, I think can trigger it. But something I should really probably start doing is like some prenatal stretches every morning. I think my body is craving stretching and elongating movements and exercise, which I have not been doing, but I feel like that could help with the rib pain. But anyway, that is gonna be the last question for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out, talking all things pregnancy. Let me know if you guys have any other questions. I'll probably do a video in the future, kind of more closer to when labor is coming. Just like showing you how else I am preparing for labor. But I don't know, if you guys are interested and want to see more pregnancy stuff and vlogs, let me know. But I love you guys, and remember, Jesus loves you more.